India. Odisha is one of the states of India. Despite the abundant natural resources in Odisha, about 80% of the people in the state depend on agriculture for their livelihood. The overwhelming majority of those who eke out a living from farming are small and marginal farmers who grow paddy and depend on rains for their crops. Except for growing millets and some other crops in the rainy season, they have very little option but to keep their land barren for the rest of the year. As a result, they often find it tough to get 2 square meals a day. Their lands have what it takes to grow vegetables on them. For vegetables, Odisha depends on other states to meet its demand. That is why Madhyam Foundation thought of taking up vegetable cultivation in a big way, involving small and marginal farmers in tribal areas. The idea was to make Odisha self-sufficient in vegetable production and at the same time bring about improvement in the economic status of small and marginal farmers.
सब प्रकार आवश्यक भित्तिभूमि थी कि आम राज्य ओडिशा एवं भी परिवा उत्पादन में आत्मनिर्भरशील हो पारि नहीं। परिवा उत्पादन यह प्रकार गोटे कार्यक्रम जो थी कि क्षुद्र और नाममात्र चाषी मैंने बहुत अल्प जमी बेस अधिक रोजगार करें।
Madhyam Foundation launched vegetable cultivation in 2009, involving 5,000 women belonging to 500 self-help groups in such areas. 10 other organizations were co-opted as partners in the endeavor. They were Pushpak, Parivartan, Social Development Societies, ODC, Sisu और महिला कल्याण समिति in Malkangiri district, Mahashakti Foundation, Dapta, Lok Yojana and Parivartan in Kalahandi and Darbar Sahitya Sansad in Khurda district. Financial assistance for the project was approved by AWO International of Germany. Household level crop plans were prepared as part of the overall plan to maximize vegetable output from land. Each woman farmer was provided a livelihood support card and asked to record all cultivation related details in it. Livelihood promoters were engaged to help these farmers. They lent all necessary help to farmers at every stage of the cultivation process. They also trained them on how to record the relevant details in the livelihood support card and keep track of their profits or losses.
Chitrakonda Haris Pantlumot have to Amaganja search corte Lutin Boroselani Set Posol Colonia Borsa Posol Colonia.
The self-help groups combined to form 20 cooperative societies which work towards capacity building of the women farmers by providing a series of skill development trainings to them. Besides, 20 farmers were appointed as community service providers and provided advanced and intensive training to enable them to help out others.
आमे से तास आगे करते लु आगे ना जानते लु एबे आगे मन कहला इन तो एंती तास करी एंती बिजनेस करी तमे आदिवासी भाई बहिनी मन निमान करी बंचा खाइडा बोली हमके कहला नि तो सेंती कलुनी.
Soil testing was done before cultivation to decide on the vegetable that could be grown in a particular piece of land. Micronutrients were applied to the soil after the quality of the soil was determined through tests. The farmers have been provided with 20 soil testing machines for the purpose. Earlier, the farmers of these areas used to grow no more than one crop on the land. That is why they were at their wits' end when the crop failed. Keeping this in mind, the project sought to introduce multi-cropping. It ensured that the farmer is not only financially ruined even if one crop fails, as there would always be another crop to fall back on. It also ensured that even there was no such misfortune, the farmer reaped the benefits of the multiple crops to the full.
फसल योजना करी गोटे अध एकर जगार गोटे परिबा चाषी वर्तमान मिक्स क्रॉप बा मल्टी क्रॉप करी 30,000 टंका पर्यंत से लाभ उठे पारुछि।
Special attention was paid to local seeds. The seeds collected were preserved through traditional methods in 20 seed banks set up under the project. As a result, the farmers not only got high quality seeds for their crops but also saved on precious money that they used to spend on buying hybrid seeds earlier.
आगो दुकान किणुथु जेते भल बिहन पाउनथु एबे निजे कोऑपरेटिव बिहन संशोधन करी भलो पाउछु।
Since most of the areas under the project were in remote parts with very little irrigation, special efforts were made to provide irrigation facilities. 40 pump sets were provided and 12 borewells dug towards this end.
आगे हमें टेणासी पेन चलू थिनु सेनु हमरे टिके लाभ नहीं एप तापरे इटा जेन दिनु आनु हमरे केई प से दिनु टिके अधिका लाभ पाउछु।
से बोर हला के आर पनी परिबा फुनी जास्ती टिके करा होउछे जमी मंती फुनी करा होउछे आरो कांडा जे हो तास दिने ने तास करा होउछे खरा दिने।
Together, these measures have ensured irrigation to the land round the year, significantly improving the lot of the farmers. Here is an example. Ratan Khara of Kodabhata village in Malkangiri district. Earlier, Khara found it extremely difficult to make ends meet for his family of 4. But he has been able to turn things around by cultivating a variety of vegetables in his small farmland. He now has no problems running his family. He has sent his 2 daughters back to school.
आमे भागत चाष करी धान चाष करूथिलु आगे एबे फाउंडेशन माध्यम रे भुवनेश्वर जाई करे ओडिसी माध्यम रे आमे एबे बेसी पानी परिबा चाष करबा विषय रो आमे सिखलु।
The fate of Sumitra Patel of Saralanji village in Kalahandi district has followed a similar pattern. Sumitra, who used to make a hand-to-mouth living out of collecting firewood earlier, now grows vegetables on a small piece of land. She is able to send her 2 children to school.
आमे आगरु कणा जे काट बिक्री करी खौथिलु आज्ञा मने कोयलार जुगरु ने का बारीकी ने चाष कलु आर ने का 15,000 लेका 10,000 लेका 20,000 लेका अंता पाइछु।
Money was the biggest problem for farmers. To tide over the problem of finance for farming, small amounts were collected from the members and deposited through the cooperative societies. Farmers could also avail of loans from their cooperatives when in need. This solved the problem of finance needed for farming.
आमे चाष करछु जेमती हमरो पाखरे जतबेले पैसा न थाउची आमे एही समवायरु लोन आकार रे पैसा नै कि चाष करछु सेही चाष सेही मासकु मास सेही पैसा आमे लोन जो टंका आमे लोन नउछु मासकु मास आमे सुझी दउछु एमिति हमरो बहु उन्नति हलानी एही समवाय खोलिबा द्वारा।
Computers, which provided recipients of all the deposits instantly, were made available to ensure total transparency in financial transaction. The accounts of all income and expenditure were put online so that everybody, including those sitting at the Bhubaneswar office, could access them whenever they needed to. The farmers were trained in ways of preparing organic manure and fertilizers using material available free of cost or at marginal costs.
आगो जेन सार फार देना करूथिले एबे से सार फार दियाने जीवा हांडी खत गोबर खत ए सब विषय रे सब बुझौछा.
Organic manure saved farmers substantial sum of money that they used to spend earlier on buying chemical fertilizers from the market. The lower spend on fertilizers coupled with the higher yield from field significantly increased the earnings of farmers. Here is an example. Dilip Swine of Bandapada village earlier used to apply chemical fertilizers in his field. But after coming to know about the benefits of organic fertilizers, he now uses organic manure in his 40 decimal piece of land, in which he grows papaya and sees the difference it has made.
आमे दौथलु आगुरु हमरो जो रासायनिक सार दौथलु रासायनिक सार प्राय 10-12 हजार टका खर्च होला 10-12 हजार टका जतिकी अमल देला सरे ता अपेक्षा हमरो 1000-1200 टका खर्च करके हमरो जो जैविक सार हम तैयार करथलु जैविक सार रे ताठू भलो अमल देला एवं भलो पैसा भी मिलला
बाजार किणी आनथलु का पुचकी कुइला कइले समस्त तास पके यूरिया फुरिया पकई करी आड देथिले सेटा मान खाइथिलु आ ओले दिवेली रांदी खाइले पूरा पुचका हेतिला एबे सप्ताह सारा खाउछु आ मार्केट रे नै कर बिकिथिलु.
These areas now produce substantial quantities of vegetables. Low-cost cold storages have been set up in the villages to preserve the vegetables produced and to ensure that there is no wastages. Since there is a sizable demand for vegetables in the local area, women beneficiaries have very little problem selling the vegetable stored in these cold stores. To ensure better marketing, the vegetable producers are procured by cooperatives from individual farmers and made available to the consumers on a daily basis. Vegetable storage and gradation centers have been set up at strategic locations under the project. Besides, the 20 sales centers have also been established in nearby towns to ensure supply of fresh vegetables to retail customers. To encourage the cooperative societies involved in the project, Madhyam Foundation organizes a state-level convention in Bhubaneswar every year. Vegetables produced by the cooperative members are put up for display and sale in the exhibition. The best producers are awarded in an effort to encourage competition among farmers. The exhibition provides a forum for exchange of ideas and know-how between individuals and organizations.
जो माँ मैंने घर कोणरू बाहर नथिले सेमाने आज निज अंचल निज जिले एवं सर्वोपरि राजधानी रे आसी तांकर समस्या तांकर दुख एवं तांकर अग्रगति संपर्क रे वर्णना करि पारुछन्ते.
The 5,000 women involved in the project have been able to increase their additional annual income by as much as Rs 25,000 to 30,000. The improvement in their economic status has spurred other farmers of the area to take to vegetable cultivation in a big way. There is no doubt that the endeavor would go a long way in making Odisha self-sufficient in vegetable production in the days to come.